Hello, everybody. We are back for the finale of Power season, what was it, 6, episode 14, 15, exactly as we planned, y'all. Finally, we're at the end, or the end of this chapter of Power, because as everybody knows that there's supposed to be like the Power book and all this other stuff, and the whole leaking of info or footage and all that. But I decided to wait until everybody was able to see everything, and a lot of people were saying that the endings were changed or whatnot, and whatnot. I don't know, y'all, but I'm gonna go off what I've seen on this one. I'm pretty sure that this is the right thing through STARZ. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share my video. But let's get right into it because it's a long episode and I got some things to say. So, the episode starts off with Tasha knocking at Quentin's door. And I'm like, oh, Quentin, okay. How you been? And he with his daughter or whatnot. And I guess he go put her to bed. And Tasha come in and she just like trying to kiss all up on him and then try to go down on him. I'm like, girl, what? So I was like, y'all nasty. I mean, like, Tasha's, I don't know. But anyway, she just be doing a little bit too much for niggas that she just don't know right away. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get buck wild nasty with some dude, like, that she met off the block, like, out, whatever, she grown, she do what she want to do. Hey, whatever. So from there, and then we see the sex scene or whatnot, and we get our last glimpse of Tasha's nipples and titties and stuff, and we see his tight booty and whatnot. And from there, we see Tasha gets a text or whatnot from Tariq, and Tariq at home looking at with a do-rag on, I guess trying to get his waves going. Looking at pictures, old family pictures, and I guess he texts Tasha like, where you at, or something like that. So she get up and was like, oh, I gotta go or some shit. You know, Quinn is knocked out. So thank y'all for showing condoms and, you know, show some magnums, the little gold wrappers on the floor. And then she was walking past, I guess getting dressed or whatnot, she sees that Quinn has a gun. So she keeps that in hand. I'm like, Tasha, you always plotting and scheming and shit. Like, can't you just be with this man? But whatever. I don't think she ever really liked anybody. I think she's be trying to get some dick from somebody and then keep it pushing. But that's all fine and dandy too. So from there, she okay, I already said that. She get home, then Tariq, she tried to rush to her bedroom. Tariq busts out the bedroom, talking about, so where you been at, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, hold on, I am the parent here. What is wrong? Like, you don't be coming in. I was out with a man or whatever. He was like, because he was like, were you out with Ghost? She's like, I was not out with Ghost. I don't want to talk about him or whatnot. And, hold on, y'all. Anyway. That was my husband texting me. Anyway, I don't want to talk about him. He was like, he was just out with some random dude that I ain't never even met. I'm like, who gotta run everybody they fuck through their kids? I'm like, usually if you fucking somebody, you don't even bring around your kids. And plus, boy, you kind of grown up. You don't need to meet who she fucking, and he ain't even, if they ain't serious. But anyway, he was like, I was nervous because I was worried she was with Ghost. She's like, I'm not with Ghost. And he was like, he went to go see Ghost or whatnot. And because she was like, I want to talk about him. But he said that he went to go see him. And then she was like, what? She's like, I told him not to put his hands on you no more and all that stuff and whatnot. And then she was like, okay, whatever. So, let me see. Then she was, then I guess it jumps to, because she was saying that they weren't going to have to worry about Ghost anymore. And then he was like, why? And then she was like, she turned on the police to the whole Terry Silver situation. She's like, you snitch? Snitches ain't shit. I'm like, boy, shut the fuck up. And she's like, yeah, I didn't snitch per se, but I told them where Terry could be found, and I kind of, alluded to it or whatnot. And then she was like, sometimes you got to snitch to get people out your way. And that's pretty much it. And boom, pal. And she was like, we ain't gonna have to worry about your father much longer. So from there, because she was like, she's like, you think it's gonna really stick? He gonna go to jail? She's like, yeah, just let the police handle it. It's gonna be fine. Then it goes to Tariq waking her up. Ma. He was like, boy, I know you ain't trying to wake me up to go to school. He was like, nah. Come look. And then it shows Jamie and the whole Walsh thing about him being lieutenant governor. She was like, I guess your plan didn't work. She was like, what the fuck? He's like, it don't like he getting arrested to me. And then she goes and she's like, you know, the whole thing with the Terry thing didn't stick. Obviously, we all know that. So she goes to call Sachs, and Tariq gets a call as well. Then from there it jumps to Tariq going to see little Lisa Marie and her auntie at that little diner or whatnot, and listening to that recording. And then, you know, we seen this again, so like the parts that we seen already, I'm gonna try to run through, y'all. It's long. So, you know how he got told off by the auntie, and, you know, he heard Tommy voice and all that. And from there, he went and walked out the diner and immediately call or text Tommy, and then he goes to meet up with Tommy from that point. He goes to meet up with Tommy, and then Tommy asks him, you know, where can he find Lil Lisa Marie, and then he tells him not to hurt Lil Lisa Marie because, you know, she's a good kid. And he was like, Tommy's like, look, you can't be giving me this information about somebody got some shit on me and then tell me, oh, be nice and shit. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And he's like, all right, but don't hang her off no balconies and shit. And then he was like, oh no, that's just for family, because, you know, that's what he did to Tariq. So from there, what else? I guess Tariq, and it jumps to Tariq and Dre. Tariq and Dre, we know they met, and then Dre gave him a gun and all that because he wanted to switch off to being able to go see Ghost, because he needs to ask Ghost for some money. Dre does, because we all saw this already. So from there, we see the whole part with it jumps over to Tasha and Ghost at the cemetery. Ghost is already there. Tasha's walking up with the flowers for Raina, and then she walks up and he overhears him talking to Raina, and then Ghost, you know, they get into it, and then he tell her to stop selling drugs, and then he say how he gonna take the kids to Albany, and she needs to get her shit together, and blah blah blah. And, you know, just talking down to her, just like horrible. Like, you used to be married to this woman for, I don't know, like 20 like years or something. I don't know how fast she was pregnant with Tariq, but they was married for so long, and the amount of disrespect that he throws at her, I'm like, nigga, is you serious? Like, I'd have been shot his ass just off of past conversations. He would have got shot, stabbed, something. Like, he is so disrespectful towards her. But anyway, and then, because he was talking about he don't want the kids to be around Tasha's bad influence. And then she was like, I don't want Ramona raising my kids, because he tells her about him and Ramona. And then he was like, oh, Ramona would be a great influence on Tariq and Yas. I'm like, for one, Tariq is a killer, a drug dealer, and all this. What he already done made up his mind. He is like 17, 18 at this point, or 17, whatever. That boy is going to be what he is. And we already know he ain't much of shit. I mean, he's smart, but he ain't much of shit. But anyway, well, he's smart / stupid. You know, it's a fine, like, y'all know what I mean. Like, he like, you know what I mean. But anyway, from there, what did he gonna go off and call Tasha? He said, what he tell her? He said, she's just a half smart chicken head who would still be in the hood if it wasn't for him. That would have got his ass. I would have jumped him. And like, don't tell me this at my daughter's grave. Like, I would have just attacked Ghost, and so many times he would have just had somebody who had to pull me off. Like, the spirit would have came in me, and I would have attacked him. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, at my daughter's grave, you gonna tell me a chicken head? No, nigga. But anyway, from there, we see Tommy show up at Tasha's house because she back at home. Tommy at this point knows that she killed Lakeisha because he got that earring from Blanca. So then he goes, hey Tasha, is anybody home? She like, no, Tariq at school and Yas is with Big Mama, where she always is. And you know, Tommy come in real smooth, and she like in the pan like, we gotta do something about Ghost, if they do this background check on him when he trying to go to Albany and all that, they're gonna look into all of us and blah blah blah. And Tommy is not hearing her. He checking through, making sure for real ain't nobody up in there, peeking in the doors, and she ain't peeping none of that. And then he turned around and starts to talk to her, and then y'all, we seen this scene where he confronts her about the whole thing with the Keisha, and she was like, let me explain. And then he like because he shows her the earring or whatnot. She's like, let me explain, look at the papers. Lakeisha was about to dime us all out and blah, blah, blah. Then he pulled a gun on her. And then she like, please, time to think about my kids. Make sure if, and then this is the part we didn't hear because like it was a different angle and it was a little bit more said. That's pretty much what's happened through all these, going back over each scene. They're all like the same scene that we've seen in like these past 4 episodes, but like little tidbits or parts of the scene were left out for that particular person's episode. So we see she was like, please think about please take care of Yaz and Tariq or whatnot. He was like, why should I do that? Did you think about Cash and shit when you killed his mama and all that? And then she was like, whatever. He was like, they deserve better than you or whatnot. And then, he didn't shoot her or whatnot. So from there, Tariq got another. Tariq goes to Truth or whatnot with Dre. And did I miss something? Yeah. Oh, she gets a call after all that shit with Tommy, and Tommy leaves or whatnot. She crying and shit. But then it jumps over to Rick and Dre at Truth with Jamie or whatnot. We saw that, but then we didn't see because what Tariq did once he went to wait outside while Dre and Ghost was talking. What Tariq did do is the gun that Dre had just gave him, he went and hid it in one of the little hid it in Truth somewhere in like some little storage bin in the back of some little electrical or something out place or whatever. So he hid the gun in Truth because the text that he got, I guess, was from his teacher or whatnot about getting pinched at school for the drugs and whatnot that they have been pushing through the school. So he goes up to the school and he sees the teacher getting arrested. And then it switches over. Let me get a drink. Then it switches over to Sax. Tasha goes to Sax's house, and then she was like, what's up or whatever. I thought she was going to get this whole thing with Terry the Stick. What the fuck is going on? And then he opens the door, and Tamika's sitting there looking like Pepto-Bismol and whatnot. And he was like, this is Tamika so-and-so. She used to work for the feds, but now she's my defense attorney. And he's like, yo, defense attorney? He's like, what the fuck for? And then he was like, well, explains the situation with all the stuff that's coming out about Sax and everything, and not being able to get nothing to stick on Jamie, that Sax is gonna end up going to jail. And then they were like, she's like, well, he's like, y'all, you gonna have to give me some more. I know you know something else. Is there more that you could give me as far as we got Tate's corroboration saying that Jamie was angry when he left from off of whatever the timeline with to go kill Terry and all that he left off from when he was giving that speech and shit. But they was like, that's not enough, and we need more from you. And she was like, I don't know. She was like, Tate. She was like, they hate each other, so that's not enough, and that's not gonna be something they can just get rid of that on the stand right away. So she was like, she gonna try to find out something else. They needs to find out more information. So she went. She's like, she gonna find out something from Tate. So then goes to her and Tate at her daycare. She's talking to Tate, and we saw this scene mostly, and then he was saying how she was like, I know my husband whatever can't stand you, so why would he just sit there and say that information in front of you without, like, are y'all plotting and scheming against me or whatnot? And then he's like, Tasha, no, I'm trying to help you because they looking into Tariq again against the case against this dirty cop Raymond Jones or whatnot, his murder. And they got Tariq's, they have St. Patrick DNA. So it can only be, it wasn't little gas. So it can only be Jamie or Tariq. So, and because they said it was like, I don't know how much match or whatever of the DNA, but they just have that DNA, his DNA or whatever. So, she was like, I don't know what I can do as far as Jamie. He's like unstoppable, and that whole unstoppable thing came up again in this episode. And she was like, she don't know what she can do. He was like, well, she's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, well, what is it to save your son? Because it looks like, then he plants in her brain that Jamie is about to turn Tariq in, or in the mindset to turn Tariq in, because he was like, what would look more noble or whatnot, but a person in Congress who's willing to turn in their own child in order to, to pursue justice and all that or whatnot. She was like, because he's like, he wouldn't do that. She's like, well, that's what he doing. But, at this point, James, Lorenz Tate is lying. So, then it jumps to Tasha at the penthouse, and the dude who is giving her the stuff for the penthouse and the rundown, he was like, here are some last belongings that we acquired after all the bullets and stuff in here. And then it turns out it's like some shit from some of James' shit. She's like, I'll be sure to give it to my husband or ex-husband or whatever. Then she started reminiscing about, just Raina and just having family dinners, Tommy there, and how shit was and all that. And, just how her life, like, how did shit just go so wrong because of Angela? But now, Jamie was just ain't shit. I mean, I feel like he probably would have eventually left her anyway, because he was on the verge of wanting to do something better. He's always wanted to do something else. Even, I don't feel like if he never even saw Angela again, I feel like he would have just left her for some other bitch who was on the up and up, but it just, whatever. I feel like he was going to leave her anyway, because he kept coming at her, telling her, like, Tasha, don't you want more? Don't you want more? And, she was about that thug street drug life. Excuse me, y'all. My allergies, it's bothering me again. My nose itching. And, I just felt like if he couldn't find the connection with her like that he was just going to move on and get with somebody else eventually. Like, I don't think Angela, I mean, she played a part. Yeah, because she wasn't shit for, going along with all that before they were completely separated and divorced. But I feel like he would have left Tasha any fucking way because of the way he was going with things. And they just kept growing further and further apart. And then she even said, like, you started getting different ever since you started opening this club. And she started feeling the distance. That was before Angela even got in the picture. So it is what it is. But anyway, ooh, my nose itch. So from there, we see the scene with Jamie and her, because Jamie finally comes in, he late, and then they start talking, and then he, busts out and tells her, that he's aware that she's the one that killed Lakeisha. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, no, I sent your ass over there to talk to Lakeisha, then all of a sudden Lakeisha dead. And then he was like, then she tried to say the whole thing about how he was going to trick off on Tariq, and he was like, I would never do that. But then he was like, shit, but now that you gave me the idea, that might not be so bad, because it would just get us all off on this shit, and then we could start over. He was like, I could take care of everybody or whatnot. Ooh, my nose itch. And she was like, you said you was going to take the rap if, something was for the Raymond Jones murder. He was like, well, and he's like, I would do anything. She's like, this is your son and everything. She's like, I would do anything to protect him. He was like, Tasha, that's what we've been doing, constantly protecting this boy. And what the fuck has he done? Constantly over and over again. Maybe we need to stop protecting him and let that little nigga burn. Or let him just figure it out for himself. Not let him burn, but whatever. So she was like, I can't believe that you would do this and blah, 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 blah. And he was just like over it, like, Tasha, girl, whatever. And tell Tariq to come to my penthouse so we could talk man to man or whatnot. So, and we pretty much saw all that or whatever. And then she asked him, like, did you ever really love me? Because for real, he treat her like some crackhead or some side bitch off the street. He treats her horribly. And then he was like, yes, I did love you. But then he was like, but I don't think you ever loved me for the man who I am now. He's like, I remember you told me you wanted me to be the biggest drug dealer or whatever. You were in love with that man. You are not in love with the man who you see before you now, which is true. They just were, people grow apart, and they probably should have been clear about that at some point when they start checking in with each other as a couple. Like, hey, I want to sell drugs all my life, and then she like, and she cool with that. Or he like, hey, I want to sell drugs to a point, get legit, and then go right. She ain't cool with that. Just takes a conversation. That's all. Anyway, but the way Jamie is just sitting there trying to act like he all high and mighty and above everything and everyone, when he been selling drugs and killing niggas from day one, is just baffling to me. I'm like, nigga, really? Like, you was the one that's really in this shit, ghost. And all of a sudden you act like, no, I'm Jamie now. I'm just doing this in loving memory of my daughter and my side bitch. And I'm going legit now. Like, what the fuck, nigga? Fuck out of here. So from there, Tasha goes home and she talks to Tariq again about the whole, how he wants to turn, how Ghost wants to turn him in and shit. And then Tariq tells her about how the police clipped his teacher, and he was like, he don't know if that's gonna come back down on him, and he don't think that it is, but he not sure. But she's like, did you go? She's like, oh, so you didn't go back to school? He's like, I did. I saw it, and then shit, I left. From there, so she was like, he wants you to come talk to him. And no, he also tells her about how he left the gun at True. She's like, you got to go get that gun because I don't know, whatever. You got to go get that gun. And then she's like, just go get it. Then they start plotting and shit because she's like, damn, it pretty much sounds like, they up Schitt's Creek when it come to Jamie. She was like, he wants you to come talk to him at his hotel, so go do that. So he goes over there, and we see this little talk between him and Tariq where Jamie drinking hard as usual. He started back on his drinking. We seen all this, and they got into it, and then he told Jamie, like, I'll confess about Raymond killing Raymond Jones, but you need to confess to me about how shit went down from day one when you killed Breeze. And then we saw all this, and then Tariq, when he told Tariq, look at me when I'm talking to you, and Tariq would look at him, and then he slammed him on the table, and he's like, I hate you, and this and all that, whatever. Like you said, you was gonna take the rap and all that, and blah blah blah. We saw that. So from there, oh, and then another thing is how Ghost said that Breeze was like in the way or whatnot of what he was trying to do, and he tried to give Breeze another chance to, like, I guess follow suit in what he was doing, and he wouldn't, and that's why he had to take him out. And then Ghost goes to say the same thing to Tariq, like, if you can't fall in line, then you might meet the same fate, kinda, says that. And then he goes home, and Tariq goes home and tells Tasha that, like, oh, he said he's gonna kill me. She's like, what? He was like, well, I could see it in his eyes, and he pretty much said that Breeze was in the way of what he was trying to do, and that's how he took care of his problem with him. But I don't think he would have killed Tariq ass, even though I ain't say he had to kill Tariq, but I'm just saying they should have whooped Tariq's ass a long time ago, and they wouldn't be in a lot of shit that they are in now. What a difference an ass whooping would have made. That's all I'm saying. Or something. Like, Jamie wasn't shit, but he did provide while he was there, and he was a loving and caring father until Angela threw her drawers at him and stuff. Whatever, but he wasn't shit. And again, like I said, I think Jamie was gonna leave anyway, regardless of seeing Angela again. He was just at a point in his life where he was ready to make some different moves. So from there, they started plotting because he had already threatened Tasha that he was going to, like, if she couldn't get her shit together, he was going to turn her ass in about killing Keisha. And then now they're sitting there at the table at home plotting, like, desperate, like, okay, how we going to get rid of this nigga? Because he's talking about he going to turn me in Tariq, and then he said, if I don't do this, and he going to do this, and blah, blah, blah. So Tasha like, okay, you know what? You still got that gun at Truth or whatnot. So what you do is go to Truth, to his little shindig, later on. I think it's the next day or whatever. Go to that and make sure you wait till he turn out all the lights and all that and everything, and everybody go. Let me know, and I'ma go pull up there. I got the keys back to the Escalade or whatever, to their old car. So the plan is for her to go and wait in the car and I guess kill Ghost. And then he was like, and then she was like, Tariq, because you know Tariq looks like in the face like he's just not okay with something, ain't sitting well with his spirit. She was like, look, Tariq, if you don't want me to do this, you need to tell me right now. And he was like, nah, it's not that, Ma. I just don't want you to go to jail. And then she was like, I'm not going nowhere, baby. I'm not going to jail. We not going, as long as we communicate with each other and we're honest with each other, we gonna be all right. You know, just make sure that we just have each other's back and we got each other and we good. And he like, all right, okay, let's do this. So, she goes to Quentin and they kicking it at his house, and she tells him, you know, she all trying to be all booed up with him, and tells him that she wants to be just free of James altogether, and ask him to drive her to Truth or whatnot, because she was like, she needs him to sign him divorce papers. He was like, well, how about I go and confront him, and then he'll know where we stand, and then he'll sign them. And I'm like, where do y'all stand? Because what the fuck? What is this? Like, when was this all the whole thing? Like, when you was coming, she's coming over to your house, y'all fucking, when was this a thing? I mean, she around your daughter. Have you ever been around hers? But anyway, so he was just sitting there acting like, you know, I'm, you know, your man now, so let me handle this. And she's like, no, just come, just drive me there. And if you drive me there, I feel like I have the confidence to, do it. I'm afraid of him. I'm like, Tasha, you ain't scared of that nigga. I'm afraid of him, but with you there, knowing that you got my back, I'll be okay. I'm like, okay, be stupid, Queen, be stupid. So from there, Tariq goes to Truth or whatnot during, you know, Ghost party or whatnot. He gets the gun, puts it back in his bag, but then I'm like, where he stashed his backpack at? That's what I was thinking at the time. And then he goes to talk to Jamie one last time, and he was like, Dad, do you really? And then he, you know, meets Stern and whatnot, and then he wanted him to meet some other people of his friends or whatnot. And then he was like, he didn't go meet him. He was like, Tariq, what's wrong? He was like, do you really want me to turn myself in for all this stuff? And then Jamie was like, yeah, I mean, look at this, after this party, I ain't turning myself in. What the fuck? I got way more stuff ahead of me than you do right now. So he's like, I ain't going. So Tariq like, all right, whatever. So from there, Ghost and Tommy. Oh wait, what am I doing? So from there, what happened? Oh no, Tariq goes and talks to Tommy or whatnot about the whole thing with the whole Dre, you know, that conversation when it was like Dre was supposed to be trying to kill Ghost and Tommy was asking for help, and then he was telling Tommy like, I'm not about to help you save Ghost. He was like, it's different now because I know that he didn't kill what's her name? Tamika? Lala, whatever. Keisha, that's her name. And, you know, it's different. He was like, you need to be sure before you sit there and try to do anything against, you know, Ghost, your father, and whatnot. He was like, nah, I ain't helping with you. Fuck Ghost and all that. And then he sees that Tommy's going to go help and try to save Ghost. But he also knows that Tasha is about to be going to kill Ghost. So he tried to call his mama, tried to call her. And she's on the way with Quentin in the car, so she don't answer. And then he was trying to text her or whatnot, and she's just not answering. So Tariq takes it upon himself to go and call Vincent, you know, the Italians, and he like on Tommy, talking about some, oh, I heard you was looking for Tommy. I know where he's on his way to and where he about to be. I'm like, damn, Tariq, you on some foul shit? The Uncle Tommy, really? That's how you gonna stop him. But I mean, that never came in fruition anyway because we already saw how this all play out. So we see Tasha and Q on their way. Tariq goes back to Truth, and Tasha goes. She leaves to because she was telling Quentin like, just pull up off to the side. He's like, where's the exact address? I'm like, what you mean with the exact address? It's a fucking nightclub. How come you don't know where it's at in the first place? But I mean, not that he would go, but you could have GPS that shit. And she's like, oh, you don't need to know the address. We could just go in. I know a quicker way around through the back or some shit on some shady stuff. And he like, oh, okay. She was like, yeah, just park up the street or something like that. And then she was like, I'll be back in a little bit. And again, she goes and she sees the stuff from Tariq, but what did she see it yet? I don't know. So she goes and Tariq goes and gets his bag again because he goes back to Truth. He sees that everybody's going. Ghost is turning out all the lights. He goes and gets his bag again, and Tasha goes to go hide in the car and wait to kill Ghost or whatnot. And as Tariq is about to like go through with everything as planned as he was supposed to with his mama, but you know, it's so many other people on their way to kill Ghost. If they would have just waited 5 minutes, somebody else would have killed him. But what happened? He's walking through, and then all of a sudden, Kanan stopped him, and he was like, "What's up, little nigga?" And then they have a little heart to heart. I'm like, why is everybody hallucinating? Why is the ghost of Kanan haunting Truth? He didn't get killed at Truth. But anyway, he's talking to him, and he was like, he said sorry for killing him, and he was like, yeah, but that was your mama's plan. In order to protect your mama and Yaz and all them, you gonna have to, you know what you need to do and all this. So it's kind of like giving him the, confidence or whatever it is to go kill his father. And I was like, oh, Tariq, you really think you that bad? You about to go kill your father? Because he was like, how do you really think it's gonna go down between Ghost and Tasha? When he gets in the car, it's probably gonna be they shoot each other or she shoot him and then she gets fucking arrested. So why don't you do him like you did me, as far as how he betrayed him? Because Tariq ain't shit. He was like, you go in because he ain't gonna see you coming. And I'm like, he should have seen your ass coming from jump. But anyway, like, I would never turn my back on Tariq if I was Ghost. But he was always very a confident father, thinking that he raised this man. And no, you didn't. You didn't raise what you thought you raised. Okay? Just like Kanan didn't raise who he thought he raised, which was actually a good thing because Sean was a good man. He was stupid. But he was good, though. But anyway, from there, he goes off and he walks up. No, then Tasha, at some point they had the back and forth with the text. Tasha texted him about something about coming home, and then Tariq was going to text her back. He did not respond. He just left her on the ... and didn't respond. And then she's sitting in the car, and all of a sudden she has a flashback of like Sean in the mirror. I'm like, wow, all these ghosts and demons is hiding everybody because everybody's so wrong. So she starts putting two and two together. Like, he not answering his phone. He not going on like saying like confirming shit with her or whatnot. Not that they have to confirm in actual words about, hey, you ready to go kill ghosts, but certain code things. So she starts thinking like he has the gun in Truth. He always said he wants to protect her and make sure that ghosts don't do nothing else to her again. He don't want her going to jail. She's like, oh shit, he about to go and take matters into his own hands. So she hop up out the Escalade and runs up to try to go stop whatever's about to happen. From there, we see who Ghost goes and turns to and is talking to, which is Tariq. He was like, Tariq, what you doing here? Is everything okay? And then he was like, yeah, I was just thinking about all the stuff that she was telling me. And he was like, as far as turning myself in and all that, blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, then he goes on to say, like, I tried to give you as many chances, just like how you gave, was it Breezy or whatnot? But just like you said, you have to do something you have to get rid of Bree so you can make way or whatever. And then so he pulls the gun on him, and he was like, "Son, what you doing? Put the gun down, blah, blah. Put the gun down, son." No, but he was like, "We can talk about this." He was like, "Nah, I tried to give you a chance," and he was like, "We could just, discuss this, and it ain't that." Then Tariq like, "It's never gonna go back to where it was." He's like, "I wish it could go back to where it was." He was like, "Me too." He's like, "I wish it could go back to the time where before you left us for Angela." So Tariq never got over the fact that he left home. And I'm like, boy, he was like 16. But I mean, I don't know. I know people whose parents left and shit at around that age, and they like never recovered from it too. I mean, I didn't grow up in a 2-parent home, so I don't get it. So I was always with a single mama. I mean, my daddy was around in and out, but I was never lived together. So I don't get it. But maybe it was very more crucial than, I don't know, I guess, whatever. So he was like, then I kind of really, you could tell, like, it kind of, it was like to Ghost, and he was like, just put the gun down, we could work this out. He was like, no, or whatnot. And what else he was saying? Whatever. He was just like, I gotta do this because you're gonna turn me in and all this, you're gonna turn in mama and all that, blah, blah, blah. And then Tasha's about to run, like she's coming through the door, and then Tariq pulls the fucking trigger. Now, I'm like, what the fuck? Really? Y'all wrote it so Tariq is the one that pulled the trigger? Really? I'd rather Yaz pull the trigger. I'd rather so many other people, because we already hate Tariq as it is. But really, Tariq is the one. And then we see, now when Ghost falls and he looking up, or he's on the floor, and then Tommy's down there at that point talking to Ghost. He's like, no, oh my God. And then he pulls the gun, and it's Tariq, and then he stops Tommy. He was like, no, let him go. I thought he said let her go, so that's why I thought it was Tasha. And at that point, that's what it sounded like, but I didn't have the subtitles on at that point, so obviously I was wrong. So y'all, yeah, now we finally see Tariq is the one that killed Ghost. So Tasha, she's there. It's like, what did you do? Oh my God. He's like, where's the gun? It's like, give me the gun. And, excuse me. So she's like, just get out of here. Just let me deal with this. And then Tasha leave, and she's like, you go that way, I'll go this way, or whatever. And Tasha's like freaking out. And then Tariq has the nerve to be like freaking out, crying. I'm like, well, yeah, you did just kill your father. Whether or not you still like had that love, he still loved his father, and that came out there where, I mean, he loved him enough to not shoot him, but like it's like he didn't notice that he was gonna be dead and gone, and so he actually shot him. So whatever. So from there, we see as Tariq is leaving from out through the back way, he's coming around a corner. He sees Sax is there, like stumbling drunk with a gun, like trying to get the amp up or whatever to kill Ghost or whatnot, but Ghost has already been shot. So I guess Sax just gets up and leave, and then as Tariq's leaving out the other back way, he sees Detective Blanca and Sax or whatnot. And from there, he goes off into wherever he going. And he throws his book bag away, and then he leaves. Well, he like tosses it or stashes it to the side in a dumpster, and then he walks around to the front of Truth, and he sees like, oh, everything's going. He's like, oh, what's going on? I'm Tariq St. Patrick. It's my dad's club. What's going on? She was like, the police like, wait, let me go get a detective. She's like, why do you need to get a detective? Where's my dad? I want to see my dad. He puts on this Academy Award winning. He's just as good as of an actor as Tasha was when she said she didn't know what happened to Keisha. He was like, where's my dad? I want to see my dad. I'm like, okay, boy, you just killed him. Calm down. So from there, it goes to Tasha's at home waiting on Tariq or whatnot. And it's like sun up. So she like, damn, where's my son at? And I guess she probably about trying to be contacting him. And he comes in. He's looking like out of it. And then she was like, he asked her, where's the gun? And she was like, it's handled. And she was like, where's your clothes and stuff? He was like, I burnt it and everything, just like you taught me the first time. I'm like, that is not a conversation you just ever want to be having with your children about, hey, what happens to the bloody clothes or the clothes that happened when you murdered that one person or when you murdered your father. No. So from there, we are finally at, oh no, we see Warner leaving or whatnot because, you know, Warner did not play ball with the DNC when they told him to leave James St. Patrick alone. And you see they dug up Angela's body and all that other woo-woo shit. So he's getting fired or going to jail, something, or indicted. So Sachs gets his job back and he's going into his office. I'm like, is he going to be taking Warner's job at that point? I'm like, really? So they let Sachs back in, and who's in his office when he walks in? It's Mock. And then he was like, oh man, I don't know how you got me my job back. He was like, he got a direct line to the district attorney or whatever, his office. But he was like, but after I did this for you, you need to be whatever I call on you or whatnot, you need to answer. He was like, shit, just from the look on Warner's face, it's a Japanese word, I think it's a Japanese word or whatever, which means like whenever he meets his wife or whatever, before he has sex or whatever, or his wife or something, before that, it's a certain type of tradition. If you owe somebody so much, they can fuck your wife type shit. And he was like, all right, I'll take you up on that. And he was like, Mark, I'm just playing or whatnot. But anyway, it was just a joke. Or maybe not. I don't know. It was just funny. So from there, we see we're at the reading of Tasha of the will for James St. Patrick. So we see Elvin is doing from the Cosby Show. He is the lawyer still, obviously, and he is saying how everything is distributed amongst the three. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, me, Yaz, and Tariq." She was like, "No." But no, first he goes to say that Mama Green, her mama, gets 1 year of her rent paid. And she's like, that's it? How am I supposed to live? So he literally only paid 1 year of her rent. I'm like, shit, I wish I could get 1 year of my rent back. Don't be ungrateful, lady. What have you been doing this whole time, woman? Like, she ain't been doing shit or side hustling. You don't never just have one person in control of all the money that's coming into you. She could have had a side hustle for the past 15, 20 years, and apparently she ain't had shit. She just been asking for money constantly and ain't did a damn thing besides trying to babysit on the side, and then they tried to turn that into a daycare and that shit didn't work. Then Elvin was like, the rest is split amongst the three, and Tasha like, oh, okay, cool, between me, Yaz, and Tariq. He was like, actually, Tasha, no, it was between Raina and Yaz. And then after Raina died, everything, her part or portion or whatever, goes to Tariq. So Tariq is left with all the controlling stakes and properties and everything that James owned. And, Yaz, she gets hers, I guess, I don't know, she's in control. Like, who's in control of that? Like, who's in control of Yaz's estate? And apparently he had no expectations for Yaz. He just left the little baby the money. And I'm like, well, I feel like whoever has Yaz too, like, she still got all that money and she'll be fine because Yaz's mama, but whatever. And the stipulation, which we already saw, with Tariq, because he was like, don't worry, Mom, I'll take care of you. He was like, not so fast, Tariq, because the stipulation on you inheriting all your dad's properties and money or whatnot. Oh yeah, and he's because Tasha, he was like, unfortunately, Tasha, you were left nothing. He was like, and she wasn't even left his insurance policy and all that is going straight to Tariq and Yaz. And then he was like, don't worry, Mom, I'll take care of you. And the stipulation is Tariq has to go to a 4-year college and maintain a 3.5 GPA and graduate. So they're pretty fucked at the moment. I'm like, boy, all you gotta do is go to college and get good grades. What the fuck? It's not that hard. So So from there, they're leaving out of the building, from the lawyer building, and then Detective Blanca walks up on them, and then they're like, we have some questions. She's like, can't my family grieve? And then Big Mama before that was like, what are we gonna do now for money? What are we gonna do? I'm like, bitch, why you ain't nobody saved no money this whole time? No one saved nothing. So whatever. She was like, Detective Blanca was like, we need to go question y'all, whatnot. So from there, we see who is it? Tasha and Tariq. They're both same story, everything matched, just trying to blame Dre for the murder. Trying to blame Dre. And there's like Andre Coleman, you know, they was like, well, he doesn't have any motive. Why would he? But first it was like, who would want to kill? And it's like, she's like, my husband had a lot of enemies. A lot of people want to kill him. But Blanca was like, look, she was like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, Tasha's like, I'm telling you the truth. It's just not something you want to hear. She's like, no, you're sitting here, you wasting my time, because I know that it is between you and Tariq when it comes to who killed, you know, James St. Patrick. So she's trying to really go in on Tasha, and Saxe is questioning Tariq. And Tariq, you know, he was like, no, it had to be Dre. You know, he had said this stuff, and he had even told, he said something about doing something to my dad, and my Uncle Tommy told me, and he went to go try to stop him, and blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, we all know that's some bull. And then he was like, okay, all right. And then Tariq, since he is a minor, so he has to still be only 17 or 16 or whatever, probably 17. He has an advocate there, attorney and everything, but he was like, can I get some water? I'm just really thirsty, because whatnot, because he just wants to get rid of her. And then Saxe was like, can you just leave? And she was like, well, whatever he says is off the record and not admissible or whatever. And he was like, yeah, well, if he starts to confessing, I'll call you. And then she's like, okay, whatever. So he goes, and he was like, well, you want to tell me, you know, what happened and whatever? He was like, well, I saw you. He was like, what? He's like, I saw you at my dad's club right when everything was going down. You were in the back and you had a gun. I'm like, yeah, nigga, why you sitting here? That's my whole thing. Like, don't be sitting here going around like your shit don't stink when you was rolling up to kill Ghost 2, Sax. Like, get the fuck out of here, because you thought all your shit and all your goals and aspirations was going at that point. You was rolling up to kill his ass too, and now you sit here trying to question his family. So from there, he was like, now I don't want to. Tariq was like, now I don't want to have to say that I saw you there. I want to say that Dre is the one that killed my dad, and we can just be done with it or whatnot. And then he was like, because first Sax was trying to deny this shit. He's like, now if I don't want to have to mention you, because Dre is the one who killed my dad, right? And then he was like, right, you know, without a doubt, because Sax don't want that smoke. He just got his job back, so he all good with all that shit. So I'm like, okay, little nigga, I see you. So from there, Sax goes to talk to Blanca so they can match up and talk about what Tariq and what Tasha had to say. Sax is singing a new tune, and he was like, man, Blanca, you know, this is crazy, right? They both blaming Dre. She was like, yeah, but we can get them. He was like, nah, because you're going to be fucked up when he's selling to Blanca. She's like, what you mean? He's like, yeah, because you're the one that released Andre, and he ran away from your whatever people or whatever they call sheriffs or whatever, when he was going into protective custody. And then it would make sense that he had the time to go run and do that, and they did catch him like going away from that. And then she was like, Sax, you gotta help me or whatnot. And he was like, oh, do I? Because Blanca, you did like kind of leave him up the Schitt's Creek without a paddle. But yeah, they both fucked each other over. So again, in this show, nobody is innocent except for little baby Yaz. Nobody's innocent, so I don't feel sorry for anyone. I just would have liked things to have played out differently. That's it. So from there, Blanca goes and she's tries to go to see Dre in prison, and then she finds out that Dre is dead. So then she goes to see Two Bit, and then she wants to, you know, tries to question him, and he was like, she tells him how she found a burner phone for on James St. Patrick. And then remember, Two Bit had James' watch, and that was what when he got arrested or whatnot. I don't know if he stole it or he gifted it to him or whatever. And it's James St. Patrick. I'm like, because it was engraved, it was Jamie's watch. So she was like, and he found a burner phone, and he was like, and there was only a few numbers on the burner phone, and it led back to a marshal in the prison, and he's not talking, but it was says that it was for an inmate. So I'm like, oh, so y'all just gonna let the whoever, marshal, whatever, who's working there, let him off, but y'all gonna go for the inmate only, and is that how y'all work? Oh, okay. So from there, she's like, I know it was you or whatnot, and Two Bit had just got released. I think that James had told y'all to make the move on Dre while he was in prison, and then Dre got out and went and killed Jamie or whatever, and then came back, and then y'all finished the job on Dre. He was like, it's so funny, y'all cops, y'all so fucking stupid. And then she was like, what you mean? She was like, you think punk ass nigga Dre killed Ghost, or not killed Ghost, killed him? Because he was saying he didn't know who the fuck James St. Patrick was. So he's like, but you think that of all people, Andre is the one who pulled the trigger? Y'all, you stupid. And she was just like, I'm going back to my cell, and he was out. So from there, we see Tasha and Stern having dinner, and she was like, Stern, hold on. Whew, it's a long one, y'all. She wants to talk to him about, future stuff, and he was like, Tasha, you're very smart and you're interesting and all that, woo woo, and it's unfortunate to have lost James right when he was in his prime and about to do this and blah blah whatever bullshit. And then she was like, I know that you want truth and you've always wanted truth back. And he was like, how much? She was like, it's not about price. I need something else from you. She's like, I need you to get my son Tariq. He inherits everything, including all the properties, including truth, and you can have truth back if you get him into your alma mater ASAP for college, so he can start college. And so Tariq is book smart, so he'll fucking get into school easy and get a fucking 3.5. And then he was like, oh shit, I can do that easy, but I need one more thing from you. He asked her to come be the director of something and work for him. And she was like, why would I do that? He was like, cause I need some diversity. Everybody's, when they want that diversity, they gotta get that token Negro up in there and have them be the face of diversity, be one black person out of like 85,000 other people. I'm like, fuck out of here, Stern. We know you ain't about or give a fuck about fucking black people or whatnot. You just go with what he said, he goes with the winning people. He said that before. And whoever winning and whatever gets him to where he wants to be in, where he want to be at, if it means getting a nigga on his thing, because he said he had lack of diversity, then that's what it is. So she goes home and she tells Tariq that, about the thing, like, you gotta go to school tomorrow and I start my new job tomorrow. He was like, what? He's like, yeah. And then from there we see because I'm like, something else happened. I can't remember if y'all remember, put it in the comments. Something else happened. Oh wait, because she finds out that Dre is dead. She was like, now we need somebody else to pin Dre's murder on. And then because like Dre being dead is not helping us, because they're gonna still try to look for somebody else to try to tie up more ends. So she goes and she calls on her burner phone and gives an anonymous tip about knowing who killed James St. Patrick. So from there, she's at fucking Quentin again. All of a sudden the police come in, boom boom boom, and he was like, what the fuck? And she went back there so she can replant the gun back in his house. And he was the police are like, he's like, y'all got a warrant? He was like, yeah, we had, and they threw the warrant in his face. And he's like, you're a felon and you have unauthorized, firearm or whatever. You ain't supposed to have no firearm. And then he's like, you're under arrest for the murder of James St. Patrick. And he was like, Tasha, tell him where I was at. Tell him I was with you. Tell him. And Tasha's like, oh, clutch my pearl. She's sitting there naked. I mean, she got a towel. I mean, a sheet on. and whatnot. And he's like, Tasha, tell him. She don't say a damn thing. So it's the next morning, and they're getting ready. She's making eggs for little Tariq, and sausage, and she's like, "Oh, Tariq, hurry up and get ready, cause Yaz and Big Mama are about to be here to send you off for school." I was like, "Why Yaz ain't never at home with you? Why you ain't never take care of that little girl?" She's like, "They gonna be here soon," and then we hear a boom, boom, boom knock on the door, and I'm like, "Oh," she's like, "That's probably Yaz and them now." And open the door, it's Detective Blanca, or Sergeant Blanca, whatever her title is at this point, Blanca. And then she was like, "What are y'all doing here?" And she was like, "Oh, we have come for arrest of James St. Patrick or whatnot." And then she was like, "Y'all already arrested somebody for that. What are you talking about?" Because at first I thought this was about to grab Tariq ass. And then she was like, "No, Tasha, that's just what you wanted us to believe." And Quentin, after we talked to him, we've discovered that he had an alibi. When you left him in the car to go talk to James or whatnot, he went to a diner and bought a Red Bull because he had a feeling that he was going to need an alibi. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, he was smarter than you thought, Tasha. Smarter than you thought. You thought he was some little dumb nigga from around the way, and now you done got. So Tariq is like, so they arrested Tasha for the murder of James St. Patrick. Tariq is losing. He was like, "Ma, no, Ma, tell him what really happened. Tell him tell him the truth. Tell him what really happened." She was like, "No, Tariq, no. Go to school. Just go to school and live your life." And then we come to the conclusion. It's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. And it's a flash in between Tariq starting his new life and his new college career, and Tasha getting processed and going to prison. This is where it goes down, and it show her taking her wig off, crying, taking her lashes off, them getting pictures. He getting his college ID picture. She getting her mug shot. She put on an orange jumpsuit and shit, and he going getting books and shit for the new semester coming up. And y'all, yeah, Tasha is going to jail for Tariq, little dirty folk. That's her son, so I can understand. But I'm sorry, that little nigga was bad. I'm like, nope, he did it. I tried to come stop him. He did it though. But I mean, him going to jail wouldn't make no sense because everything is in his name. So if everything is in his name, they wouldn't have been able to get none of that fucking money or nothing. So it's better if Tasha served the time. I'm sure she can. Her motive is so great. Like, her motive is he left her for his high school or like grammar school or high school boo thing from the past. Left her kids. She had to downgrade her whole lifestyle. Like, they can come up with an amazing defense. And Tariq needs to move a little fast with that money so they get an attorney. Or an attorney could probably just fucking do it for them pro bono for now, and then with the promise of the money later, which is a great thing. Like, like, we have all these assets, work with us and we will pay you later type shit. So hopefully they can get somebody to represent Tasha or whatnot as far as that. So that's why it's better for Tariq to keep his motherfucking mouth shut, go to school, don't sell no more motherfucking drugs, do your shit, do your time in school while your mama do her time in prison, and get her the best fucking defense that money can fucking buy, and throw Jamie under the fucking bus and create an amazing motive so he looks like a dirt shitbag who left his fucking wife of I don't know how many years and 3 children, got his fucking daughter killed, and fucking was about to leave, left them with damn near nothing, or left Tasha with nothing after she bore his children and took care of her. They downsized to that old bogus little small apartment, like the size of mine. And I mean, my apartment. Like, I mean, I got nobody. But yeah, so I feel like they could do a good thing with this. Like, I feel like they get a good defense for Tasha, and she can be able to get a very minimal sentence. Hopefully. But I know Blanca might be just trying to root and try to get her really. But I mean, like, they was trying to help her. There is so much more to this story. And I don't know where they're going to go with the Power Book. If they're going to address things in the future, or if they're just gonna go from the past or whatnot. We shall see, or I don't know where they're really going with that. But yeah, y'all, that was the conclusion of Power. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about the finale of this season. I feel it's a little bittersweet. Shit, if Tasha was gonna go to jail for his murder, let her at least pull the motherfucking trigger. That's what I thought about it. But it is what it is, y'all. But yeah, that was Power. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe again. Peace. Bye.